Long Grande Wang. His email is entitled Drew Money. It's been reported that even though Drew McIntyre is back on WWE TV, he has still not extended his contract at WWE, and so far his deal runs out in January 2024. Apparently the big holdup is money. Drew wants more. WWE won't agree to his number. My question is Drew worth a huge contract? I think he's a fantastic wrestler, and I think McIntyre versus Gunther at SummerSlam has show-stealing potential. On the other hand, Drew was gone from WrestleMania until Money in the Bank, and frankly, him being gone wasn't hurting WWE TV at all. Also, he had a bad habit of doing the boo-boo face. You can tell when he's doing the job based on his entrances. I would love to know what you guys think. Long Grande Wang.
I think he's worth the money. The guy's a hit, you know? He's a star. He's definitely a world championship contender. Former world champion. Yeah, I think he's absolutely worth the money. Looks like $1 million. What about you, Cody?
Yeah, they have the money. Give it to him, you know. And so he looks like a star, acts like a star, comes off like a star, good looking, gives great matches, cuts good promos, has been in the system a long time. You can use him to draw in, you know, UK and the surrounding areas. He has so many pluses, you know. Yeah, and he held the title for a while, and he did not do a bad job. You know, he always was in there putting in the work, and he did it in a very hard time during the pandemic. Yeah, pay the guy. You got the cheese.
Pay the man.
Right, pay the man.
No, please. Look, the brothers don't wait to get paid. Money talks. Runs the marathon. So they know.
A little New Jack City. Russ Ray sends in an email titled Dogs at AAA shows. Hey, K100 crew, I may get suspended for asking this, but I have to seriously ask the question to Conan. Are dogs allowed at AAA shows? See the 20-second clip from Lucha Blog below, and I'll play it in a second. Maybe it was a service dog. I don't know. It was a funny moment seeing the dog worked up and ready to do a run-in. It gives K100 fans hope that we might see Conan's dogs on a AAA show one day. Serious question. Besides the wrestling bears that have been around forever and Teddy Hart's cats, have either Conan or Disco had to deal with animals in a match or backstage vignette? Hoping I don't get suspended, but I'll take it like a man if I do, and that's Russ.
Will you just show it?
Yeah. Sorry, I was just setting it up.
Y ahora también sobre la barrera de protección. Un columpio mortal, peligro, peligro. Está de regreso Psycho Clown, patadas voladoras. ¿Y para dónde lo mandaron a volar? Cayó de cabeza contra el filo. ¡Ahí está el
Oh, look at that.
que no se le mueva! ¡Sama de pesa!
All right. Cody, how did the dog get in the building?
Well, it isn't a building, it's a carnival, bro. How are you gonna stop a dog from getting into a carnival? So but he jumped up during the show at a lot of times, and he was barking, and it almost like it was the most hilarious thing, and it went viral. It was incredible because when there was action or something, he'd jump up and he'd start to bark. And at one point, he actually jumped over the rail and went underneath the ring. And the guy had more charisma than half the wrestlers in AEW and WWE. Nothing.
All right. Have you guys ever had any incidents dealing with animals, working with them in a vignette or anything else?
No.
No. Nothing
Nope.
going on?
No, nothing that comes to mind. I have worked with animals, but thank God nothing's happened.
Were you guys at the show when Scott Steiner walked a tiger to the ring?
I think I was there, yeah.
Did you approach the tiger?
No.
No. I think, Conan, didn't you tell a story that Ray wanted to get a picture with the tiger or something, and the tiger got aggressive?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
All right, this is from Garth F. Killing Machine. Why would he care is the title. The IWC threw a because LA Knight wasn't booked to win Money in the Bank or was even featured on the following episodes of Raw or SmackDown. My question is, why would LA Knight give it? If you see any of his real-life interviews, he's been very open about being broke before WWE signed him up to NXT. Right now, he's got to be making a minimum of 6 figures per year, so why would he, as much as I would have personally loved to see LA Knight for Seth Rollins at SummerSlam and the promo battles they could do on TV, why would he give about how WWE are booking him as long as he's finally making some good money. Plus, LA Knight has to know that as great a shape as he's been in, he's very lucky to be in this position with WWE at his age. I think that's a little bit overstated because, I forget his age offhand, but Damian Priest is in that age group. Drew's getting older, AJ's older, Edge is on TV 6-7 times a year.
It's a horrible criticism.
I don't get it.
It's a horrible criticism to talk about his age because he looks like $1 million. You don't look at that guy and think like, oh, he's old.
No,
yeah,
not at all.
Yeah, plus I was just talking to somebody that was telling me that he was too old to be on WWE, and I told him the same thing I told Johnny Ace when he brought that up with me, because I went there for a commentator's job, and then Johnny Ace was like, "Yeah, how old are you?" And I was like, I gave him at that time whatever I was, 37 or something, and he was like, he goes, "Yeah, you're too old," and I was like, "Well, are you gonna flash my age on the TV? Plus, your brother is here and he's older than me." But he was always full of shit anyways. Yeah, that's what are they gonna do? Put LA Knight's thing there? And I do think that LA Knight should not be quiet, because that's how you get lost. Because right now he's really hot, and if they don't do stuff with him or he doesn't like stand up, he could lose that heat very quickly.
Right.
But people get tired of people trying to do something with him. And the bad part about that is it's when they try to restart him again, now you've got a 50-50 chance of it not working or working again. Why not, now that he's heat, ride that wave, right now that he's hot, I mean.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
This is from Mr.
Are you watching a baseball game, Disco?
No.
Okay.
Are
You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Are you watching a block of hotel adult cinema?
Nope.
Sometimes you can get the whole 24-hour block if you want. Price isn't that much different. Anyway, this is from Mr. I Am Tremendous, and the title is Let's Hear It for the Boys. Gentlemen, greetings and salutations. I hope you're doing well. Personally, I believe that your show is tremendous, primarily because of you two hosts. Primarily because of you two hosts, and second, because of your producer, Joseph. I think he does a superb job. You all are hard on him, and I think that's great. We need more of that in America today. Make sure he don't grow up and be no... You're hard, you're fair, and don't take excuses. Joseph, can you tell us a story of a time your involvement with a show or situation and the response you received from Disco and Conan? Disco and Conan, can you each give Joe a compliment about him, his work, his hair, doesn't matter. For my pristine palatial estate in Poway, California, Dr. I Am Tremendous, PhD.
I'm going to suspend this guy. Let's suspend this guy for a week.
All right. First of all, we don't take suggestions.
Right. He's misinformation. He's trying to make it sound like that we treat Joe poorly. And I think that's misinformation.
I do too.
So, yeah.
But I can remember. Go ahead.
Joe does a good job of not answering his cell phone.
Yeah.
That's about the best compliment I can give.
Bro, do you have
Cody, let me say a question. When you call Joe, how often does he answer the phone?
Never, bro. Like 99% never. I'm like, bro, what if somebody's calling you to give you a job, give you work? What if somebody's calling you for an interview? What if somebody's calling you for something important? I mean, I'm editing. Zero. Okay, so you can't put your phone on vibrate. You can't see that it's ringing and you don't answer the phone. Like he acts like if his phone is on, that he has to answer it.
That's true.
Bro, something important could happen.
Yeah.
Maybe your dad needs you for something.
You're not going to answer.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'll listen and I'll be like, I'm going to get better at this. And then I just dip right back into like, whatever.
So hopefully the emailer who's now been suspended is happy that we did put you over for not answering your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all around. You could ask Durbin or John Paz or just friends of mine. I'm not good at it. But I would say
matter to me how you are with them.
No,
bro, we're running a business together. Yeah. I mean, come on.
So he said, can you tell us a story of a time your involvement in a show? I remember one time, and I can't remember specifically, but Conan was discussing AAA being on the air or traveling somewhere, and it wasn't supposed to be out yet. And Conan said, cut this out in a Master Public Minute, and I missed it. And, obviously Conan, because he told me to take it out and I missed it. But that's the only time that happened, I think. So
No, there's another time when you the speech at my one-man show in Vegas.
yeah. That wasn't
right.
that wasn't Jeremy Borash at all.
You heard about it for a long time, so I'll cut you slack.
All right, we have 6 left. So we're getting there. This is from Adam Hughes.
And by the way, if you would never
Hughes, by the way,
for real, yeah.
Okay, let me get him in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But and if you want to write and tell us how Joe did, especially if you never want to hear him again, please make sure that you send that to K100questions@gmail.com. We can make that happen. All right.
Be on YouTube a lot. What the heck is this? Adam Hughes, his email is titled YouTube Notifications. Keeping it 100 official on YouTube gets a lot. I mean, sometimes hundreds per week of comments from fans asking where's the video of the subject, despite it already being uploaded days or weeks beforehand. But if you are subscribed to the K100 YouTube page, please click on the bell icon on the YouTube videos because you will be sent a notification every time the YouTube page is updated, and you will never miss an upload again. And here comes his comedic PSs. Are you ready for these?
Oh, God. Here we go.
PS.
All right. Let me just, before you start, there's a very good chance that after you read these PSs, if they're not funny, the 55,000, which were only 2,000 away, and it took them how many years to get there, Joe?
3 or 4.
Okay, I'm gonna move the goalpost to 75. So, are you sure you want to read this?
I'm gonna read it.
Look at it. Look at it before you read it. All right. Hugely, I tried to throw you a lifeline.
I say he made his bed. All right. P.S. What is your gym workout routine? P.S. What do you think about RFK? P.S. What do you think about cancel culture? P.S. Do you think music used to be better back in the day? P.S. What do you think about marks in their 40s with girl hair stalking wrestlers around hotels? P.S. What was the backstage reaction to Rey Mysterio being unmasked in WCW? P.S. Who should dethrone Roman Reigns? And P.S. What do you think about thigh slapping?
He always puts the P.S. What do you think about thigh slapping in there?
Yeah, well, it's obviously
let's just suspend him.
Making fun of
let's suspend him for a week.
Okay, I'm not gonna. There were like 8 of these. I'm not gonna because we will make time. But this is like one big one just for him. That's like a little fly, maybe in the kazoo and in the distance.
Next email, Joe. Next email.
I got you. This is from Ben. Title is Ricochet. What's up, K100? Ricochet is one of the most athletically gifted wrestlers I've ever seen, but I don't care about him. In fact, I may have even started to dislike him. Conan and Disco, if you were agenting his matches, what tangible things would you suggest to him to connect on an emotional level without turning heel? That's an interesting question.
Well,
I bet you here, like, this is one thing that professional wrestlers do not do, and a bunch of them can, and I don't know why they don't. But bro, he looks like a guy that probably is a pretty good like he can do his entrance like Jack Evans. Like if you can bust out some cool ass dance moves and stuff like a b-boy, like just go ahead and do it. Like nobody does. Like there's so many guys like AJ Styles is like a good dancer, but he never does it. He doesn't do it. I don't know why guys just don't do it. Oh, we just lost Cody, by the way.
Yep. So.
Ooh, baby, please don't go.
All right. So
it sings you a love song and nothing incredible.
Right.
So what would you do as if you were the agent for his matches in WWE for Ricochet, Conan? What would you suggest?
What did Disco say he would do? Did he say or no?
I said he did bust out some dance. Like if he could dance like a b-boy like Jack Evans can, I would do that as part of his act. The chicks like that.
Yeah. So here's the thing with Trevor. When I was working with him in Lucha Underground, bro, they need to let him loose. There's nobody in NXT or any of the 2 brands that can do what he can do. He does some incredible. And I always said that after Ray, he'd be the next great high flyer. And they've corralled him in, and he can do really cool. Let him loose. That's what I would do. There's really good bases there that would make him look good and help him. And number 2, he needs to get better at his promos.
Yep, promos for sure.
But he's great.
That's obvious, though.
Yeah, but believe me when I say this, Disco, they're underutilizing him. This guy is a incredible talent.
I haven't watched Raw, but him and Logan Paul had a thing going, and I guess they're going to wrestle each other at SummerSlam. So that's good for.
Yeah, that's real.
That should be awesome.
That will be a good match.
Yeah,
right.
And really good for Ricochet too.
Did you see that brawl they had backstage, Conan?
Yeah.
That was good. That looked, bro, like
that
Logan Paul brawls better than 99% of the guys. Like it did look good, right? It looked real.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's just a natural, and some guys are, like Ken Griffey in baseball. This guy here,
Yeah.
And it happens every now and then, and you take advantage of it. You're like, good. I don't got to teach this guy too much. He's ready already. Let's go. Those are the guys you want. You got a name. You're charismatic. You get the business. You can wrestle. You can cut a promo. What's not to like?
Right.
Yeah.
Next email is from JG. And the topic is Aiden English sounds like disco. Hi, guys. What's happening? I don't normally watch Impact, but I did this week, and I popped myself when I first heard Aiden English on commentary because he sounds just like disco. Have you heard this comparison before? Take care, guys. Hope all is well. JG from Jersey.
No clue who that guy is.
What did he say?
You have a clip, Joe?
He didn't send me a clip. I'm looking for one.
Well, just do the next email and you can play the clip in the post.
Yep. Wasn't that Aiden English, the guy that was singing on WWE?
Yes. Yeah, and he was in that tag team with Simon Gotch, whatever they were called.
Oh, right. Well, that's Aiden English. Yeah.
Kind of looks like Cesaro.
Right.
Okay. This is from Matthew Hansen. The topic is AAA and Marvel. Question for Conan. In Marvel's latest show, Secret Wars, heavily featured are the Skrulls, shapeshifters if DI doesn't know what they are. Are there any talks to feature the Skrulls with AAA and Marvel? And could you have Marty Scrull as Marty Scrull?
That's a tremendous.
Thank you.
Good grief.
Marty Scrull would make a good scroll. But yeah, they haven't talked to us about having those characters. So I would say no.
Final email, Lewis Rice has a question about Jerry Lawler versus Orange Cassidy. Disco, in the last mailbag, you referred to Jerry Lawler as a great worker in part because he makes stuff look realistic. You've also referred to Orange Cassidy as a good worker. If realism is an important element of a good worker, wouldn't Cassidy have to be excluded from that conversation? What is realistic about a guy gaining an offensive advantage on his opponents while his hands remain in his pockets? It's Lewis Rice from Wisconsin.
I'll just say that you just tell that, bro. I love it when the fans, like when I've been in this business for 30 years, I actually train other wrestlers, but like I've done everything, right? And like I'm pointing out something to somebody's work that I like. It's like I'm gonna get questioned by a mark that thinks he knows more like what I'm talking about when it comes to work than I do. Orange Cassidy's a good worker. I mean, I don't like the fact that they put him over all the time, but like he's got an entertaining gimmick. He does it well. I mean, the other guys kind of participate. I'm not a big fan of everybody always participating in his comedy at the beginning of the match, but the fans buy it. It's not, and the guy is actually, he sells well, and his match is kind of like, he gets beat up a lot and does a big comeback. So I don't know how you can look at him and think he's a bad worker. Like I know Cornette thinks his gimmick is stupid, but like it's not like the guy doesn't know what he's doing out there. What about you, Conan?
What was it that he said about Joe about making it look realistic or something like that?
Yeah, if realism is an important element of a good worker, wouldn't Cassidy have to be excluded from the conversation? It's not realistic about a guy gaining an offensive advantage while his hands are in his pockets.
Yeah, realism is an important. Let me just say, realism is an important factor if you're having a realistic type match. He doesn't have realistic type matches, but he's still a good worker,
Right.
And so, and he's over, which is not the same thing. And he's over with the people, and his gimmick is over, dude. And he has good matches,
Yeah.
So and he doesn't. And the funny thing is, he's the anti-charisma. He's the slacker. one-word answers, the
Right.
I'm too cool to answer,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's got
And he does it very well.
Yeah. right.
Like he
And
did
on
for
top
what
of
he's
that,
trying to for what
and
he's
here's the
trying to
best part.
portray. Yeah.
Yeah, here's the best part because wrestlers always ask me, fans of him, is this guy cool? He's super cool dude, bro. He doesn't have any, like some other guys that they're pushing and they have a big head. He does not.
Yeah. That's been a mailbag.
So that's been I was going to say, yeah, that's been the mailbag.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.